Good morning. I'd like to say welcome to Fiona Bosman, who has very, very kindly given up some time to join to answer some questions this morning. Fiona, welcome.
Thank you, Susie. Lovely to see you.
So for people listening or watching, a very brief intro in the sense that Fiona is a very senior, very experienced strategic brand marketeer and the current global brand director of Bupa, international healthcare company. And prior to that, you've worked at many really well-known brands over the years, Bing, Nokia, Barclaycard, Red Bull. So you're a leading brand expert. I'm really grateful to you. We're going to dive straight into the questions. And being a brand expert, my first one is, what is it about brand marketing that really drives you?
So I would say that, if you're selling a product, there's lots of products and often they do the same thing, but the brand is the personality. It's the layer of connection where the tone and visual clues really build to something bigger. And I'm fortunate enough to have worked for some amazing brands, as you said, and a lot of startups. But it's always the same thing. The formula is always the same, and it's be really clear about why you exist. Explain that purpose to people really clearly, and then create some moments of delight. And that's what brand marketing is all about. But you can't do that without a really clear purpose. So it's about selling a product, but with personality, and I love that.
I love that, moments of delight. That's absolutely fantastic. And so you've worked in senior roles with some exceptional brands, as I've mentioned. What would you say has been your most either defining campaign or defining experience so far?
So I would say Red Bull. I mean, I adored my 8 years at Red Bull. I worked there in different markets, so in the head office in Austria, in Cape Town, where I was born, and in the UK. And I'd say the businesswoman I am today was really defined by my time there. And a huge amount of that is about being really focused about why you exist, being in it for the long game, and sticking to your principles. But having confidence to try and fail, try again, about following your intuition. It's not all about marketing textbooks. Red Bull marketing textbook standards probably would not have succeeded. Huge amounts of that were intuition. Try, fail, get up again, do it again, speed to market, partnering with people where the two of you are more powerful together than the one of you by yourself. And those are principles I take with me through my career today. So yeah, definitely there.
Excellent. And the pace of digital development for marketers has been absolutely extraordinary in recent years. What do you think, how do you think this will impact creativity?
Well, I think there's a lot of conversations around, aside from the fact that digital has really changed the way, I suppose, brand marketers, all marketers need to communicate with customers. It used to be maybe once a year we created some big campaign and it was very push, and now it's always on, multifaceted, hundreds of channels, a very, very different world. But I think aside from that, there's a lot of conversations at the moment around things like AI, things like Canva. Is creativity now in the hands of too many people? Will copywriters have the opportunity to do their job, or will that be done by somebody else? I think controversially, I think that democratizing creativity is the best thing that could happen. I think the idea of more people being able to have access to creative tools helps us on that process where everything's so fast. We have to create content fast. Mm-hmm. And the more tools you have, the more people that have access to that, the better. And just because I can build a website in Canva, it doesn't mean that I'm going to, and I'm not going to hire a web expert to do it. It just means they can do it faster and better. So I think it's incredibly empowering and exciting, really.
I'd agree. I think it's a really exciting time to be a senior marketeer at the moment. I mean, the energy, the pace, the speed of change is absolutely phenomenal. What do you think will be a priority? If they're thinking about the constant speed of change and energy, what do you think will be a key priority for senior leaders over these next few years?
I would say the hot topic of AI is going to be something that we're all talking about a lot. I think there's huge amounts of potential to use that technology to really service customers better. There's the importance of making sure that we still have that human connection, but I feel like there's huge amounts of opportunity there, and I'm no expert on where it's going to go, but I'm watching closely and excited about the potential and realistic about the unknowns.
I think they have a hugely positive experience or influence on customer experience. We're certainly seeing that with our customer experience roles and companies who are embracing AI, and really kind of taking into consideration what the customers are looking for. So yeah, I think we'll see some big changes in that area. And what about career advice? Is there a piece of career advice that you were given earlier in your career that's kind of stayed with you that would be helpful to others setting out?
I would say nobody told me this, but it would be my advice that I give other people, which is strive for simple. I think when I was starting out, I thought, gosh, there's loads of big words and jargon and acronyms, and when I've made it, I'm going to get what this is all about. But I can really say that's not true. That actually that stuff is the stuff that gets in the way. Your customer is you. They're simple. They don't have space for complexity and multiple messages and huge, long, complex stories. They have space for one really clear message. And so my advice would be hold on to the simple.
Oh, I love that. I haven't had that before. That's a great one. And then I would say what's next for your own career journey, but you're into this fabulous new role. So I don't know if you want to share anything about what's in store within this fabulous new role, or what you have in mind for the next 5 to 7 years, but I'm very excited for you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I definitely am very much focused on where I am rather than going anywhere else since I'm 4 months in, and excited by the mission to really make Bupa famous for being a business that helps people live healthier, happier lives. I think we've got an amazing focus on sustainability. We're incredibly inquisitive around digital transformation and what we can do to really help integrate that into the lives of our customers to help them be healthier. And yeah, it's an incredibly exciting time for me. It feels like the same time when I worked at Nokia and we were going through huge amounts of transformation in telecoms, and when I worked at Barclays, huge amounts of transformation in terms of the way people pay. It feels like health is really up there in terms of all the technologies there. People are tracking their steps, they're monitoring their blood pressure, they're able to do everything on their devices. And so their healthcare companies are in the perfect place to sort of embrace that and service their customers. So it's really exciting.
It sounds like it's a great culture as well.
Wonderful culture. Exceptional. I've never worked somewhere. They need to do a much better job of talking about how brilliant that is, because it's like nowhere I've ever worked. And Red Bull was brilliant, but this is very, very warm and embracing, and a real culture of collaboration that I haven't seen.
Oh, well, I'm absolutely delighted for you. And, it's an incredible brand. You'll do a great job in the role. And I wish the business every success over the next few years as they do all these investments, etc. That's very, very exciting. Fiona, thank you so much for joining this morning. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Suzie. See you soon.
Pleasure.